Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Ruby Beyond Episode 2, titled, what's the title? A Knight's Journey. So, it's been a few weeks since I reacted to Episode 1. That initially wasn't planned, and then it got replaced by the Hell of a Boss shorts for a short amount of time. But now we're back for this. And yeah, I'm assuming this is to do with Jean because he's the only real knight we know, especially with the whole rusted knight thing. Also, as you can probably tell by my voice, I am sick. I streamed on Thursday, completely fine. An hour and a half later, when I went to bed, nose was stuffy and everything. Woke up, whole left side of my face was congested, and the throat was gone. Friday stream, had to stop every 15 minutes on the dot to blow my nose. I was meant to record and release the first episode of Gen V Season 2 that day. On a stream, I can turn my camera and microphone off to blow my nose. I can't do that on a recording. So, also the past couple days, the breathiness has come back, and it's an issue to talk for prolonged periods of time. So this, while also wanting to be content that I want to put out, is a test for tomorrow's episode of Peacemaker. But yeah, basically, I noticed my mic's picky a little bit, so let's turn that down. Um, yeah, this is just a test to see if I can actually record at the moment. But let's get this episode started in 3, 2, 1, go. That seems. Do we have subtitles? Yes. Yeah, that really would be a mindfuck. Now he knows how Ozpin goes through. At least he can relate to him. He just feels like he's lagging behind a little. Do they know that? Okay, yes, they do. Me? Okay. So the subtitles aren't that good. Hey, I was right. Did you keep a journal through your first few lives? I guess, yeah, there would be a lot of historical. Yes. Oh no. He's starting to refer to himself as I for the past lives. So here's the thing. I never really equated this to a whole bootstrap thing because um who wrote the original story if he was acting out the story? That's fair. It didn't really seem like time passed in that. Um, that's weird. Ah, so Lewis wrote the journal to help Jean. Okay. And then to honor his sister. Huh. I've made more mistakes than any man, woman, and child. Are we going? Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to get a pure ghost. This just in. Ozpin invents therapy. Okay, that was sweet. Um, Jean getting to actually talk through everything that happened to him was nice. When did that not turn off? Um, out of out of everyone in the show, there are really five people I can think that need therapy the most: Ruby, Oscar, Crow. Who was the fourth one? I had four when I started talking this, and then Jean. Jean was going to be the fifth one. I somehow immediately forgot who the fourth one was. But yeah, that really did just seem like a therapy session between two people who are, at least in the sense of a normal life, semi immortal. Because Jean has lived a full life and gets to do it again. Oscar, through Ozpin, and Ozma, and all the others, have lived multiple lives. So that really did just seem like two immortals catching up and talking through their issues. I am I am concerned about Oscar because when we knew that a time jump had happened, and I think it was even said in the first one of these, no, it was in the animatic of Oscar and Oz merged quite a bit more recently to the point that he said, I've been the subject of several fairy tales, which we know from Fairy Tales Remnant that yes, he has. I turned off autofocus on my camera. Why did it just do that? Okay, that's annoying. But he referred to them as I. He is starting to lose himself to the merger. Uh, it was nice getting to know about the good times that Jean, Alex, and Lewis had before the cat got his claws in. I guess even before they met the herbalist, because he said it was after that that Alex changed. Then they were with the the cat. Did the cat lead them to the herbalist, or? But I'm guessing Alex would have experienced the same thing that Ruby did, where she wasn't able to confront her past self and had some truth bombs dropped on her, which would then lead to everything that happened. Also, the fact that someone else is trying to dictate the path of her story based on what had already happened, basically feeling like you don't have any free will, that comes from these cyclical loops. It still it still confuses me just how long Jean was in the Ever After. Because for something to be a fairy tale, it does usually have to go through several generations, especially for people to not remember the people who made the fairy tale. No one remembers Lewis. Um, and no one remembers the siblings that disappeared for who knows how long, and then only one of them returned at the same age that they were when they left. We still don't have the clear definition of if Lewis went back as Alex or as himself. In the same way that the blacksmith remade Jean as his old self. They could have remade Lewis into Alex. That's a theory I've always had as to why no one remembers Lewis and they know Alex from the story. But learning the good stuff, finding out that even if things didn't end well, those moments were worth it, and just helping him through the depression that, yeah, coming back to a completely different world that is in a terrible state would cause. I do have to wonder if any of the other girls got therapy, because they are of 6 people who know definitively that other realms exist. Well, 8 if you count Ren and Nora. Do you think Ozpin ever's been to the Ever After? So I did a quick rewatch of the episode while trying to find a thumbnail. I completely missed the part where Jean said they were pre-Great War from Vacuo. I completely missed that. So that uh I should have brought this up. RWBY Great War. I should have brought this up beforehand. Nearly 80 years ago, the um this was from the start of season 1, well, volume 1, during Ozpin's speech to the school. On this day, nearly 80 years ago, the largest war in recorded history came to an end. A war of ignorance, greed, and oppression. A war that was about much more than the borders fell and who traded with whom. Yeah, so he was. And it says that the Great War lasted for 10 years, so it started 90 years ago. And we don't know how long before the war they're from. So I was right in that it'd be at least a few generations. Almost a century. Because it's been a couple of years since the start of RWBY as well. So yeah, he was there for, assuming, well, the equivalent of at least 93 remnant years. And he was already an adult when they fell. So yeah, that's new information. Jean's lived for well over a century, We don't know how long it took him to age up to an adult if he sort of stagnated at that age between before Alex and Lewis got there and when he left. So, yeah, that's a lot. That's a very important piece of information. Anyway, back to the what I was saying. Anyway, I can feel myself running out of steam very quickly. I'm having to take more and more breaks between talking, so I'm gonna have to end this one here. I do have more thoughts, but I can't get them out. So that was a very sweet episode of Jean just going through a little therapy session. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.